So welcome everybody, and this is Neni here again. And with today we have Paul Valach from PMV Productions. And Paul is like me, a person that likes to help people stand out online and of course offline, because what you do online translates to offline. So he is an amazing entrepreneur who helps people shine online, and he has an incredible company that I want him to tell you more about it. So welcome Paul to Songversation on the road to success. And this is a special guest that we have today. Please introduce yourself, Paul.
All right. Hi, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, good day, good evening, all of those since we're around the world. Thank you, Neni, for having me on. I am Paul Valach. I am your social media coach. That's what I do. I help you establish your digital footprint, which is very important in today's world, in the digital world. And it's also important with that footprint to be found. So what we do is we start outlining what products you make, what services you offer, make sure they're described correctly. And all of that, we start with the important one, the Google business page. And that's where it starts. I come with 15 years of education plus, where I taught at the community college level, and I taught a variety of courses, including HTML, but also all the computer basics and so forth. I have a master's in business administration. And that's where that my family comes with a bunch of educational history. So I love teaching people. That's my favorite thing to do, is to show people how to do something and then have them apply it and put it to use, and then it returns whatever it is they're looking for. I'm working on a couple of books right now, again, of instructional things. And so I look forward to this time. And if you have any questions, please forward them, and I or Neni will be happy to answer them. Thank you.
Yes, fantastic, Paul. And it's really a pleasure to meet you, because we are in such an alignment. Like, we are both from the tech side, we know all the inside, how the coding goes in the back end, how Google does all the different search engine optimizations in the back, and how to make sure that you stand out. Because even though we go on Instagram and social medias right now, we also need to take care of our Google presence. And there is actually something that you can apply for. You have your name, you can apply for your Google page, and
Mm-hmm.
your Google page, you can add events there, you can promote your system, and that is actually already optimized and searchable by Google. Is already integrated in there. So Paul is the perfect person, an expert on how to optimize that, and how to make your business, when you create your Google page, even for your personal brand or for your business brand, how to optimize it, and how to make sure that that comes up first, that your events, your promotion, your services and products are actually highlighted and promoted. And so that is very important. Actually, I do have a Google page as well. I claimed it last year, 2 years ago, as at the beginning of last year, I think. And it's really, really helpful, because it's already integrated in the Google search, which is what everybody does. And social media is important. Every single app is important. But of course, if you're Googleable, you're searchable. That is actually also very, very important. And we have something in common. We know how to code HTML. We know how to all the back end of the details of the software and the technology behind it, so that we can communicate better and do whatever you need to do with your brand online better. So Paul, thank you so much for that explanation for our guests and audience, because a lot of people are searching for brand expansion, brand awareness, brand loyalty. And can you talk a little bit about that? Like, how does your service provide that brand loyalty, awareness, and expansion?
Well, okay. So first I have to say, with the way you're describing us, I think you're calling us nerds, the old nerd terminology. And it's like, you're a nerd. Oh, okay. And she's a girl and she's a nerd. Oh my. So anyhow, see, you're getting the best of the nerd world here. It's interesting on the brand representation, because many people, they just go search for things, and when your page comes up or your website comes up, they still are probably not sure of whether they found the right person. And So there's comment. I think the best way to get yourself known, any business, is to start commenting in groups, in areas where there's an interest in your product or your type of product, and you just start listing the benefits. You start listing the way that product then provides a solution to whatever problem, whatever that customer needs, and that's how things get developed. So I don't know, it's somewhat maybe of a complex solution, but on the other hand, it's just getting known, it's being there. And, and dropping an ad or two here and there is not a bad idea, but you can also spend a lot of money on ads and it gets you nowhere. So it's something that you just need to do case by case, and you go from there.
Absolutely. Every single brand, every single personal or business brand is unique, and it needs to be customized. And that's why people like Paul are in charge of analyzing what are your needs, where are you at with your budget for marketing, where are you at in your brand, are you already known, are you not known, or do you want to even just launch your thing online, you don't know. Everything is very important, all the information is important, and Paul makes sure that he understands where you are so that he can take you to the next level, the next level, the next level, because you cannot run before you crawl. You have to really do step by step, and sometimes we get a little bit anxious that we want our brand to just explode right away, but it doesn't work that way. To grow your audience and to grow your social media, your online presence, it just takes a little bit of time. And the organic growth, it does take time, and it doesn't mean that it's going to take 10 years, but in 1 year you can have an amazing growth, and in 1 month you can have an amazing growth. But it really depends on how you strategically place your places in that chess table of the online world. And Paul knows exactly where, and it will customize it for you because he knows exactly what is trending in the moment, what are the tools that are faster for you, that are cheaper. For example, some resources on social media are free, and you can do a lot of advertisement for free. Like he says, you can comment on groups, you can be attached to all these different apps for social networks, even neighborhood apps, where you can be commenting on, oh, this person needs this thing, and then you comment on, you can benefit from this service, you can benefit from this other service, or this product, or somebody has this service. So there are a lot of tools right now, apps and groups and Facebook things and forums and articles and LinkedIn and all kinds of social media and search engines that can actually host your service and product and grow your brand. And of course, Paul and I are very familiar with these because we use it for our own brand.
Right,
And
right.
we've been using it for years because, like Paul said, we are kind of nerds, and we've been out there since HTML, started happening. So when you're so close to the code, how it goes and grows, then you know where it's going, and you also know how to use it the best, because you know what the underlying technology is capable of. So I think people like us that are nerds, that are engineers, we understand better, what kind of tools are better for you. So Paul, tell us a little bit about one strategy. What is the one strategy besides the commenting on groups? What is the one strategy that you would recommend right now? If somebody that is just launching, somebody new that's launching their brand for the first time online, and then we'll go to a more advanced tips. But for a
Well,
newbie.
To start, you need to, well, in my mind, you need to have a Google business page. Okay, first of all, Google gives that away to you for free. You need to go grab it. And if you're an individual and you're also doing individual things, you need to kind of grab your name. It goes back to the days of grabbing your domain your name.com, so that you have it. And then you need to start describing your services and or products. Now, each one of those gets handled a little differently by Google, by the Google business page interface. But that's, you work on putting in text, putting in a descriptions, maybe using trending words. Now you might say, well, what's trending, Paul? Well, trending is what gets typed in most often. Now, here's the good news. there's 9 little dots in the upper right-hand corner of your Gmail or Google Keep or anything. And when you click on those upper 9 little dots, you get all sorts of things that Google makes. And one of those apps is trending. You can actually do this yourself. You can click on the trending and you can see what words, what's coming up, what's most popular, and start incorporating that text into the description of your products and or services. And all of a sudden, Google sees that and they're going, oh, you do that. And if people type it in often enough and your page gets referred often enough, you start floating kind of to the top of that search result. So just one little hint, but it takes a little bit of work. But as I said, if it's filled in properly, you start getting success.
That is a very good point. And that leads me to something very interesting. You touched the point of going to the trending app of Google, and the underlying message here is that you need to take control of the analysis of the data that you're putting out there and the data that you're going to use to create more audience. If you let other people analyze the trending, they can do something for you, but you need to take control and study what are the current trends so that when you express yourself, when you describe things to your team, to your marketing team, then you know what you're talking about. You need to understand this technology. My thing, like you, Paul, we have another thing in common, which is education and teaching. I love teaching, I love coaching because of that, because I love training people and to know what is out there so that they can actually communicate better and do their tasks better. And knowing the trends and knowing which apps and how to find out the trends. Of course, you can do a Google search and
Mhm.
find the trends. But Google is already providing, like he's just saying, a little app that analyzes the trends inside Google. So use all the technology that's out there. There are analytics on every social media app for every single post. You need to know and be informed of this, because when you talk to Paul, you can say, Paul, my audience is 50% male, 50% female. So can you help me increase my brand for the male section or for the female section? Then he would know exactly. So when you communicate better, because you understand what the insights are, what the trends are, then you can say, what, this is trending. I want to increase my brand for this trend. And then he knows what to do. And that's so important. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, and I think one other thing to mention, and we joke about this, but sometimes people have expectations that one tweet, one Facebook post, one Facebook ad or LinkedIn ad is going to bring you 1 million followers, or all of a sudden sign up 10,000 people. And the reality is that no, that's not going to happen. And you might get lucky, but no. It's the consistency of the message. It's just like, that's why if you watch TV, that's why you keep seeing the same life insurance company. You see the same thing. And in fact, some of these, you see the competition and you're so tired of some of these, but it's the consistency, it's being in front of people. And so you need to be consistent with your message on social media. And, you need to post a number of times a day or a number of times a week. There's actually a schedule. There's actually a prime time to post, because believe it or not, there are people who do other things than being here online. Yes, I know it's hard to believe. I sometimes find it odd myself, but yeah, we do other things, but there are times during the day when we are known to be on. Well, so is the rest of the world. So those are just a couple of things, consistency. And then also, when are you sending your message out? And again, that goes also to who are you selling to? Because if you're selling to certain people that are up at 2 a.m., that's when you should post. But for the most part, we're probably posting some in that midday area, because that's when those are our clients.
That's exactly right. So just knowing the information, like knowledge is freedom, knowledge is expansion and abundance. If you know exactly, and that's why everything, you exactly when to post, then you know how to capture their attention. And if you know when to post and you how to capture their attention with graphics like the ones that PMV production creates and everything, then you have a winner. You have more success, you have abundance, you have more clients, you have more profit, more revenue. So that is very key. But that's why it's important to have a customized solution for everyone. That's why we as coaches, Paul and I, we definitely have to have one-on-one communication with each one of our clients. There's not a cookie cutter kind of thing. There, yes, there are tips that we can give. There are different things that are in general that you have to know, but the real solution for yourself that's going to make you stand out, have brand awareness and brand following and brand um, influence is the very specific ones that you're going to get by getting a coach for social media and getting a particular customized solution for you. I think that's very important here to understand that it's not a one thing for all. There are definitely rules that you need to be aware that apply to all, but every service and every product has a target, has a time, has a way you present. And also, you yourself, as a product, as a brand, you are unique. So you have to present yourself in a unique way, and so you will get unique customers. And that is very important to know so that you can market the right way. And so, Paul, another thing. So, how do people connect with you? How can you share with us, how do people connect with you best? What is the best way to reach you? What are the services and products that you're right now offering? Do you have a special program or some giveaway that you're sharing right now?
So the best way to get a hold of me is to send an email. It's just Paul at PMV Productions. You can see that down at the bottom. So just my first name at pmvproductions.com. That's probably the best way. I would put in the subject, if you're listening to this, put Neni's name in the subject. That will make it stand out from all the other emails that I get. And unfortunately, also now some of the spam emails. So it will stand out, and I can also highlight it and saying, look for this, and it'll stand out. The other is to visit the website, which is pmvproductions.com. There's a number of offerings on there and some of the services. We are in the middle of changing some of those services and making them even more attractive, because we need to do I don't necessarily like this word resurgence of businesses, but there's a lot of small businesses that just need some help, and people are looking. So let's build those out. And we've got some programs actually that are, at a very good price. We've decided to one of my friends in Australia was very successful with what we call the 2021. So $20.21, get your Google business page started to be created. We do a one-on-one, and we just start creating it, building it up. I give you homework. This comes from my educator person. And within 2 or 3 sessions, again, each one of those is 2021. You have a functioning Google business page. So those are just some things that we start building out. And one other thing to point out, a lot of people talk about all these social platforms: Instagram, LinkedIn, Pinterest, TikTok, and so forth. Each one of those kind of has an audience, and you probably belong on 1 or 2 of them, but you certainly don't belong on all of them, especially on day one, because you have to keep track of that. And if you don't respond to your clients or to questions on those platforms, people think you don't care. And, you're a click away from somebody going, you know what? I needed to know if you had a size large red hat. You didn't respond. I'm going to go buy that large red hat from the next item underneath you. And there were 5 other items underneath you to choose from. So not only consistency, but you also have to respond fairly quickly to any questions that are asked. So it all kind of integrates in that. And a lot of times some people in the past have said, well, can you manage that for us? We don't have time to do that. And the answer is yes, we have managed other accounts, but it is you have to, it's like a 24-hour radio station, pretty much, because people could be ordering that product from, when it's 3 a.m. somewhere, at your place, it's 8 a.m. in another part of the world.
Yes, and those are good problems to have. If you have too much to handle and you need to hire a team that can handle all the audience
Yeah.
engagement, that is a great problem to have. So don't think that it's overwhelming. Well, but it's a good problem to have.
Well,
So
that's why I have my assistant that you see behind me. She keeps me on my toes. I just thought I'd feature my assistant today.
oh, wonderful, wonderful, great assistant there, beautiful assistant. I'm sure that that she gives you a lot of love and support, and yes, I think that you are so right, Paul. I think that when we don't take care of our audience and our engagement, I reply to every single comment, every single message. You know, I definitely at least like it first and then comment and reply. We have to reply to everything because
Yes.
that's where the relationship is at. We have to follow through and follow up with every client that messages us so that we can actually develop a relationship in a better way. And so then they can actually trust us and then take our services, right? And I think that it was very important to know that we deliver value, that you deliver value immediately, like something small, like just getting a Google page claimed, and then verifying that it's yours and going through the whole verification process. That is not a complicated situation. You know, very very simple. It doesn't take much to have to do it, and you can get that done very fast. So I would definitely recommend that. Is really really good, and you're making my running notes even for myself, because it's really good to make sure that we're on top of everything. I have my page, like, do I have all my brands in the Google page? Maybe I don't have claimed all my brands in the Google page, right? So it's very important that you claim all your things on Google. It's very important to be out there online, discoverable. And there's so many, like you said, so many small businesses that need to be reintroduced to the market, because right now we used to have one way of doing marketing and now it's a completely different ball game. You have to be discoverable by online. You have to be in there in that pool of billions and billions and trillions of businesses and services that can be done online, can be purchased online, and you have a potential for growth that you have no idea. So if you use social media for marketing initially for free, when if you don't have a budget, and as you grow and as you patiently grow, you can introduce some budget and then start growing everything. You're going to have a lot of success. So I definitely have had a lot of success getting my clients online, social media, even the network. That's how I met Paul, from a network online. I don't know Paul
Right.
in person. We just met in our regular Friday coaching call. So we have
Right.
we share our coach, JT Fox, and one of the things that our coaches say is share your coaches. Share your coaches for other people, because you never know. Like if you don't work with me or with Paul, you may work with our coaches, and our coaches teach us and make us grow. And if you help somebody else by sharing a coach, maybe they won't listen to you, but they can listen to somebody else. It's very important to share. I share my wellness coach, my business coach, my property coach, and all the different coaches that I have. So it's really, that's why I'm sharing this coach, Paul, so that you can also take advantage of anything that he can do for your business and for your brand to expand it. So Paul, one last question. So if you had to change the world with one social media change, what would you do?
Get rid of all those social media platforms. Ah, I it just gets, I think people need to really be careful of what they see, today. What I'm old, but I had a radio show. I've been on TV, and I say that in this way, that it used to be that you had to go to a radio station to be on the radio and have a radio show. Today, you don't need to. Today, you can have a radio show anywhere. You can have a YouTube channel, and that is your channel. You can be on Roku. That box that you paid $49.95 for, you can have a channel on that. So anybody can have a channel and anybody can say anything. So you need to kind of dissect through all of that And I think that people just need to have a better eye, better discerning eye. Where is it coming from? It used to be you always check the URL, which is the address of the website that you're looking at, and does it have credibility? Which goes also to one thing with a Google business page is you need to manage your reputation. I work with Captain Joe, who I met through HNP, which is another Happy Neighborhood project, which is another great place to get out and so forth. But we make sure that those evaluations, those reviews that come in are correct, that somebody isn't out just to bash you. Unfortunately, there's people who have nothing to do, and all they can do is put negative things out there about your business, somebody else's business, and it's just one more headache that you deal with. And so, I guess my one thing is just have some discernment. Is that a word?
Yes.
That when you're looking at things, go, okay, is this even worth reading? And, is this true? And if it's not, just move on, because there's another 100 of those coming up, and you're far better off commenting on good things and leave all that negative stuff to somebody else.
That is so true. Yes. Right now, there's so many ways to connect with people via audio, via video, via social media, via search, via text and articles, online, everywhere. We have also the old ways, right? TV and newspapers and mail. I mean, there's all the types of advertisement. There's a whole science to advertisement.
Yeah.
And the more points of contact that you have with your audience and all the types of media that there are out there, the more that you're going to reach more people and grow your business or your brand or your brand awareness. So it's important to understand it all. But if you don't understand it all, you come to people like Paul and like me who understand it all, who is up to date with what's going, what's trending, what's the best thing for you for the different kinds of businesses. Certain medias are better, right? Like maybe a singer, maybe they want to be on the radio, right? They don't want. So it's really interesting. And Paul, with his expertise also on audio and video and interviewing people, can also give you hints of how to run your YouTube channel with interviews, how to run your podcast, and how to run those kind of things. And as you know, I have my own podcast and everything, and he does it too. And so it's really important. Because I'm a singer, I have been on the media world for a long, long, long time. So that's been, part of my music business. So of course,
Yeah. That's an expanding one too. My friend is also developing that, and she's been on stages Ashley's been on stages forever, and it isn't now that you're on a social media. And now when you're at you're live streaming from your concerts from the bars that you're singing at, or the stages that you're singing at, and where you're known to be at that stage, this stage. Unfortunately, some of these stages are opening up. Unfortunately, some of them are also shutting down. So that adds a new dimension to that world. And and you certainly do a great job in podcasting. And podcasts are here to stay. They're just one more delivery point. I think somebody said 30. It used to be 7 touches made a sale, then it jumped to 17 today. It's like 37 touches before you make the sale, and that's your text, your mail, your text, your mail, your video, your this. That's why you get inundated with all those lovely emails and all those things, because
all the points, every single point of contact is one more item in your memory that can connect you with another brand, with your audience, that can connect your brand with your target customer. So the more times that customer sees your name, it's like what you're saying, you get sick of the insurance company on TV. Well, when you think about insurance company, there's no other image in your brain that's going to come up except for the one you've been seeing for the last 20 years. So is the same exact thing that happens with social media and an online advertisement. The more point of contacts, the more places you are and you are seen, the person is going when the person is going to require a service or a product is going to think about you because they've been seeing you everywhere. So that's why people say, well, how come you're everywhere? Because I need to be everywhere.
Yeah.
So so I have to be on every single social media that there is to be known, to have a presence there. And the earlier you can get in the newer social medias and the newer apps and the newer medias that there are out there, then the better for you because you can grow faster organically. And those are the newer ones. When Periscope came up, I was there live streaming. When Twitch came up, I have my channel on Twitch. And everything. So
Oh,
it's really you really have to be on top, but of course, oh, it's tricky to keep up with everything. But once you have one going,
yes.
you add another, and you add another. It's actually not so much overhead because it becomes kind of second nature to you. Like I'm on it all day long, right? In the morning, in the evening, and just checking and also interacting. Like I get messages and I filter and I do, but of course having automated processes to respond to messages is also very good. I do the as you know, automation for social media as well. Auto replies. How do you configure the auto replies on Messenger, on Instagram, on different things, so that when somebody connects with you, maybe you don't have time, but you already send them a message of how to set up. And if you set up your Calendly for a schedule for, that's how Paul got to me.
Mhm.
I had ready a link to send, hey, schedule my time with me. I didn't say, hey, Paul, how are you? When do you want to, how can we coordinate the time? No, he just goes in there, clicks the link, books my time, and then does the sets up the time for me, and then we just meet and I just have the proper time. We cut so much stuff and we speed up the process with automation. So the same thing you can do with social media. You can schedule posts, you can schedule a lot, you can automate a lot of the processes if
Yeah.
you're a solopreneur. And if you're not, then you can have a helper that can also automate the processes and you can
Yes.
do more things. So it's really, there's so much out there and we can definitely help you. So I hope that this was absolutely of value for you, that you got some information, that you got some ideas of how to use Paul for your own business and how to get connected with us online. As you know, you can find me on automateyoursuccesscoaching.com and Neni Chacin, Neni Carolina Chacin, of course, everywhere. You can type my name and you can find me. And I thank you so much, Paul. Any last words for our audience of encouragement to use that marketing online for standing out?
Yeah, just again, don't be discouraged if one ad isn't going to do it, one post isn't going to do it. You need to be consistent. You need to concentrate on one product or one service and build that out. Create some good landing pages, and again, you just got to be consistent, and it'll take some time. There's no magic button that creates an immediate sell, but consistency and sending a good positive message, I think, is the key. So everybody, thanks for listening, thanks for tuning in, and I'd be happy to help out in any way I can. I'm Paul Valach.
Thank you, Paul. Well, this is it. Thank you, Paul. And this is Neni, and I'm definitely out.